Haney. The topic is Teens in Trouble, and we're talking to Mr. SWingfield and Ms. CMcCord. Before we had our break, we were talking to Dr. Jackson at Tennessee State University in the Department of Sociology, Mr. Wingfield, and we were talking about some of the problems that we mentioned in our introduction in terms of the number of minority youth involved in the criminal justice system. And I'd like for you to say something about that, about the problems that young black youngsters have in the criminal justice system as a probation officer.
All right. I think the facts are pretty clear. Black people who come in contact with the court system, adults and children, are disproportionate to their numbers. And I think Dr. Jackson made it pretty clear as far as some of the reasons why, that there are less resources in our community to deal with actually, how shall I say, getting to the cause of the problem and the solution. All right. Metro Juvenile Court has been working for some years on a very skimpy budget. It's been very difficult. We have approximately 500,000 to 600,000 residents in Davidson County. We have a staff of 103 people. They deal with everything from children who are abused and neglected, to collecting child support, to keeping your child or my child incarcerated if he commits a crime or has to be protected from himself or other people.
Very good. We'll get back to the function of the court after we bring Ms. McCord into the conversation. Ms. McCord, as the coordinator of the Teen Tapestry program of the Crittenden Center, exactly what is that, and what is the impact of teen pregnancies on the black family?
Well, Crittenden Services is a private agency that works here in Nashville that works with pregnant teenagers, and we have several programs, and one of them is Teen Tapestry, and I'm the coordinator for that program. And that is a collaboration of about 10 different agencies that are already here in the city, and we support pregnant teenagers with a comprehensive service. And in terms of the impact of teenage pregnancy on the black family, it really has had a very negative impact. Teenagers are having more children, and that is increasing the number of single women who are parenting this day. Over 40% of all the families, all black families, are headed by single heads of households. And that largely is contributed to by teenage pregnancy.
Now, what do you find in that information that would impact upon what you're doing at the court system?
All right, well, let's take a look at it. In 1984, we had 2 children who were charged with murder. In 1985, we had 2 children who were charged with murder. In 1986, we've had 14 children who were charged with murder. Out of those 14 children who were charged with murder, only 3 lived in homes with 2 parents. Right.
And so that would tend to suggest that there's more stability in terms of two-parent family than there is generally in the one family.
Well, I personally believe, and I think the court believes, that it takes 2 people to raise a child properly. It takes a mother and a father. This is not possible in all cases, and unfortunately, a lot of times those children wind up in the court system. And of course, with the situation in the black community being what it is, a disproportionate amount of children wind up in the court system.
You know, many of our viewers might not understand exactly the function of the juvenile court system. Mr. Wingfield, perhaps you might be able to give us an overview of the function of that system so that we'll have a better concept of it.
Okay. Metro's juvenile court system is a pretty complex system and a bureaucratic system. As I mentioned earlier, it covers everything that relates to children in a legal manner. Anyone under the age of 18 must come through that juvenile court for any kind of legal action whatsoever, unless that child is under another court. For example, if a man and his wife were to divorce, the divorce court would determine who has custody of the child and set up visitation. If the family's never been married, okay, then our court system would set visitation rights, child support, and etc. And that's only one part of the juvenile court system. While I've got your audience here, I wanted to explain just one thing I think that might be very useful and helpful to them. and that is knowing the difference between what a status offense is and what a criminal offense is.
What is the difference between those two?
A status offense is something that is wrong or illegal only because of the child's age and minority status. Example, running away from home. Okay, that's against the law only because the child is under 18 years old. Once the child is over 18 and an adult, they can go as they please. Not attending school, loitering during school hours, things of this nature, unruly. Things of this nature are against the law because of the child's status under the control of the parent. And I have to make the distinction that a status offense is not a crime. All right? Crimes are classified as delinquent offenses. And this is when you steal a car, you hurt another person in the commission of a crime, rob someone, take something that does not belong to you. These are criminal offenses and delinquent offenses which would be wrong whether you were a child or an adult.
All of them are very costly offenses.
Costly.